Right, and that was one of the questions I had. And again, I wouldn't expect you to be in a position to know this, but just maybe considering the logic of it, is there a possibility that Rittenhouse would agree to some kind of a deal prior to trial, perhaps a guilty plea on the gun charge, and I think there's also a charge of being out past curfew. Do you think that's a possibility, or are they so confident they can win this that they're willing to kind of roll the dice?
Well, I'd have no idea any more than you would, of course, of what Rittenhouse might be willing to accept. I would say that if I were working on this case as an attorney, and I'm not, to make that very clear, but if I had a client in this position of Rittenhouse and they were offering me a plea and a misdemeanor charge to get rid of homicide charges, murder charges, I would urge my client to take that plea. I don't think the prosecution is going to offer that plea. I think the prosecution wants to go to trial on the murder charges. And, let's face it, from the prosecution's perspective, it's kind of a no-lose situation in that one of the drivers for bringing this is, of course, the politics around the event and the public outrage around what happened. And of course, if the prosecution obtains a conviction, I'm sure they'll be very happy about that. But even if they don't, they'll know that the challenge they were facing was really overwhelming. So they ought not feel bad on a professional basis if they don't get a conviction, but they'll also have done what the political energy of the public seems to be demanding. They fought the good fight. Maybe they didn't win it, but they did the right thing, according to people who think that, Rittenhouse did something wrong or criminal in this case. And keep in mind the prosecutors, if they're not trying this case, they're trying some other case. So they're just going to be in court trying a case anyway. This is no different for them. This is just going to work like they normally would. And so I don't think there's really a downside for the prosecution. I think if they don't get a conviction, they've still done what they see as the right thing.
Right.